Hi, this is our form drawing for the week. I wanted to make sure last week we did not do our form drawing, so I would like to make sure that we get our form drawing in our book. And the form drawing from last week, the last week of school, was this one right here. And so how to do this one, you would do a nice blue border with your mama bear in your form drawing book. And I know some of you are low on pages in your main lesson book, and you may use pages in your form drawing book, and we will just piece it all together at the end of the year. So to do this form drawing, you would do a blue border. I'm just gonna get some chalk over here. You would go ahead and put a nice blue border on your paper. I hope you can see me. I might have to adjust the camera here so you can see a little bit better. But there we go, there is our blue border around our paper. And of course, when you are done with this, you will golden the background, all right? So I would like you to, this is a great time because you're at home and there is no rush and we don't have to hurry up to get ready for another class. So this is a great chance for you to work on making your background very, very beautiful. So the first thing I would like you to do this form, which I did not do on this because it was on the chalkboard, is I want you to find the center of your paper. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say maybe about right here. And I'm going to draw a line all the way across. It's not perfect. I can already see that the tippy top is smaller than the bottom, but I tried, and that's all I want you to do is to try. And then I'm going to make the line on the tippy top. And to make the line on the tippy top, I used purple. So I don't know if I have a light purple. I think I do. So it looks like there's one bigger peak on the mountain, and then a smaller peak, a taller peak. This peak is narrower than this peak, and this peak is wider than this peak, and then there's a little tiny one. So make sure that you look at that, and I would like you to try it on a blank sheet of paper. Maybe your parents have a piece of printer paper or a piece of drawing paper that you could try this on. That would be wonderful if you could do that. So the first mountain is going to go up, and I almost touch the tippy top of my page. I come down, I make that second one, and do you notice I'm not picking up my chalk off my paper? I'm keeping it right on my paper or right on my chalkboard, right as I go. And there's a wider one and a smaller one. All right, do you see what I did that was not quite right? I didn't fill in the whole space right here. So you want to make sure that you come all the way to the end. So I think that I'm just going to go ahead and erase that. But do you see, I can do that because it's on the chalkboard. And if you did that in your form drawing book, it would be a sad day in Kitty Cat Town because you could not correct it. So I think you should try it first. So the first peak is going to come over and be wider. A little guy, a tall pointy guy, a wider base, and then a little one. And that is better. So now what I need to do is I need to mirror this form down here, but I'm not going to turn my page, I'm not going to do it sideways, I'm not going to do any funny business. I'm going to start right on the bottom here and do it that way. So I'll make sure that this peak is down here, and this peak is down here, and this peak is down here, and so on. So I'm not touching the line, I'm going ahead. There we go. Little guy, pointy guy, chubby guy, and then finally my little guy. And then what I did do with this form is I made this bottom blue and I made the top golden because I wanted it to kind of look like it was the sky on the it was the sky on the top and like with a golden sun, and then on the bottom it was water, and the water was the reflection of the mountains. So this was last week's form drawing, and I'd like you to put this in your books so you have this in your book. But the form drawing this week is a little bit different. I have two forms. I'm so excited. I was form drawing all break and I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do more. So I'm going to do the easier one, and we'll do the harder one together. So I'd like it to be this one. But the ones that I'd like you to practice are these three little guys on the back. Do you see how I have them horizontal? So I drew a little horizontal lines, and then I drew these. I would like you to just practice those. That would be a fun game to do with your parents or a sibling or a friend, is just make little forms for them and see if they can copy them identical on the other side. But that is a wonderful way to practice. So to do this form that I would like you to do for the week, I'm gonna erase the chalkboard so I can show you how to do that. And I can say ta-ta for now to this guy too. Okay, so I'm going to use green to make my border. And again, I'd like you to practice this. I'd like you to practice it a couple times before you put it in your book, just to make sure that it looks really nice. I don't care if you take a while to practice. I would rather have you do beautiful work that takes a little bit longer than rushed work that is not very nice. I would like you to try your hardest. So I'm going to go ahead and make a green border. To make sure that you can see me nice. My border is not perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect. There we go. It's just a green square. If you want this one, you can round the corners a little bit. You know what I mean when I say round the corners. I'm not rounding in here, I'm just rounding at the corner. So I'm gonna round at the corner a little bit. And this is a mirroring form too. So I'd like to go ahead and I'd like to draw a line right in the middle. Right in the middle across the page. It's not straight. You can work on that. I didn't draw it straight because I didn't draw it straight. I could even come back if I wanted and use my mama bear side if you want. And then that will hide any mistake I made. And then it looks like, oh, Mrs. Maripodi made the straightest line in the world. She's an amazing line drawer. That's what they say about me downtown. They say I'm the best line drawer in the world. Okay, so this form is going to start here. And it has a little lumpy bumpy. It comes up, has a little bit of a funny shape, and then it has another little lumpy bumpy. So when I did mine, I kind of was experimenting with using Mama Bear because I kind of like the way that it gives you a little bit of freedom and you can make a little bit of a mistake and no one can tell. I like that about it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I will go ahead. I made this line with the point. You could use your stick crayon to do that. Or you could use Mama Bear to do this. And I kind of like that. I kind of like it. And so I had Mama Bear come up, wrap around here. And it kind of looks like, to me, I kind of think it looks like a whale's tail or a fish tail coming out of the water. I think it's kind of a beautiful shape. So there we go, and I'm going to add that little swishy swish here too. So then I'll go here, swishy swishy, make my lumpy bumpy, make my little tail of the whale, and then make this. There. And you can make your background beautiful too. I would like it if you would make a beautiful golden background on this one, please. And this is the form drawing for this week. The other one, the mountain one that was here, was from last week. So that will give you a little bit of work to do while we are on break, or we are distance learning.